Great story is like a great recipe that can be passed from generation to generation. It is constructed from common ingredients or story elements a skilled storyteller can mix and vary to create a timeless tale for any occasion. There are 5 story elements in total found in books, films, and even video games, regardless of style or genre. They are as relevant in a romantic comedy as they are in an international spy thriller. By understanding the role and purpose of these story elements, we can better comprehend what we read and watch. More importantly, we can transfer this knowledge into being able to write great stories of our own. So here are the 5 story elements: character, setting, plot, conflict, and theme. We'll explore each of them individually, but before we do, it's essential to understand that they are not equal, and sometimes they might not always be evident to us. An author may even consciously try and hide a particular element so their audience can construct that specific element in their imagination. Regardless of what the story is or how the storyteller dispenses their tale, you must know each of these elements and what to look for within them. Character. Depending on the nature of the story, characters are most often people or animals. Writers use characters to perform the actions and speak the dialogue of a story. They move a story's plot forward. They are the who of a story. Great characters allow us to connect on a mental and physical level that makes sense to us. They challenge, anger, and inspire us as the central figures within a story. Toy Story and James Bond are heavily character-driven stories. We frequently view the world exclusively through their eyes. Their personality and strengths and weaknesses engage us, making everyone and everything around them take a back seat. Setting. A story's setting refers not only to the physical location, but also the time the action takes place. It is the where and when of a story. Great settings can provide a sense of freedom, tension, joy, fear, and much more, thus providing the characters with a stage to express themselves through their emotions and actions. The film Up provides an excellent example of setting being perfectly woven in between the characters and plot. Carl is watching life pass him by in an overcrowded city he has no connection with anymore. This rapidly changes when his helium-powered house rises high above it all, floating off into a world of adventure as he heads for South America. The breakaway change in setting from his boring, miserable life completely alters the direction of the story thereafter. Plot. The plot relates to the events that happen within a story. Plot can be further divided into sub-elements such as the introduction, the rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. It is the what of the story. The plot usually begins with a problem and ends in the story's resolution. The plot is the driving force that makes us want to turn the next page, riding a roller coaster of actions and emotions to the very end. Charlotte's Web provides an excellent example of a great plot in action. We quickly discover that Wilbur is destined to become little more in life than a Christmas ham, until Wilbur and Charlotte form an unlikely friendship and embark upon a quest to show he is no ordinary pig. The story builds in action, challenges, conflict, and resolution. Conflict. Every story worth its salt requires conflict. This conflict can be thought of as a challenge or a problem that drives the action of the story. No conflict, no story. Setting up a series of cause and effect events, conflicts gives these events their why. Sometimes conflict may be very obvious and play out for all the characters in the story to witness. We call this an external conflict, such as when a hero battles a fearsome foe in a quest to restore peace and justice to their kingdom. Alternately, we might see internal conflict occur when a character is faced with a no-win situation and they are torn and conflicted about their own desires and beliefs. Star Wars provides us with an excellent example of both of these conflict types in action. We can see the external conflict occurring throughout the galaxy being settled with blasters and lightsabers. Simultaneously, the internal struggles of Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader grow as they march towards a final showdown between father and son. Theme. Theme is a little more abstract than the previous elements. The theme refers to the underlying insight, the moral or idea that the writer is expressing through the story. It is often thought of as the message of the story. Master storyteller Roald Dahl wove multiple themes throughout his novels. In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, an evident theme is that poor parenting will lead to poorly behaved children. And we see evidence of this as each child is shadowed by an adult who has moulded them and formed them into what they have become. The apple rarely falls far from the tree. So there they are, the 5 major story elements: character, setting, plot, conflict, and theme. These are the cornerstones of all stories, and you can now look at them with a deeper perspective after watching this video. There are some minor story elements we'll be covering in a later video, so make sure you subscribe to our channel and you never miss an update, and thank you for watching.